this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Progressive Rock and Metal album review series. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the impressive and amazing short catalogue from one of the finest supergroups ever assembled in the progressive metal genre, featuring 5 incredible musicians who, in my opinion, need no introduction whatsoever. I am talking about, of course, the one and only Sons of Apollo. Now, Sons of Apollo was comprised of drummer Mike Portnoy, keyboardist Derek Sherinian, bassist Billy Sheehan, guitarist Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and singer Jeff Scott Soto. And between these 5 badass musicians, they have seen it all, done it all, and played and collaborated with just about everyone you can imagine in all styles and genres. Mike Portnoy at the time was formerly of Dream Theater. He has played and collaborated with Transatlantic, the Neil Morse Band, Shattered Fortress, Metal Allegiance, Adrenaline Mob, Liquid Tension Experiments, the Winery Dogs, you name it. Mike Portnoy has seen it all and done it all, and is one of the greatest drummers in the world. Derek Sherinian, formerly of Dream Theater, he has played with Billy Idol, Kiss, Alice Cooper, Planet X, Black Country Communion, and has collaborated with Virgil Donati and Simon Phillips, to name a few. Derek Sherinian is one of the greatest keyboard players on the planet. Billy Sheehan, of course, has played with Mr. Big, Steve Vai, the Winery Dogs, David Lee Roth, you name it. Billy Sheehan has done it all and is one of the greatest, most decorated and respected bass players of all time. Ron Bumblefoot Thal, formerly of Guns N' Roses, and Jeff Scott Soto has sang with Journey, Soul Circus, Yngwie Malmsteen's Rising Force, you name it. Jeff Scott Soto is one of the greatest singers in the world. So a real unbelievable and impressive collection of talents assembled in one band. Now, Sons of Apollo was formed by Mike Portnoy and Derek Sherinian, who, as I mentioned at the beginning, were both part of Dream Theater for about 4 to 5 years when Derek Sherinian was a member of the band. And they first started playing together in a band with guitarist Tony Macalpine and bassist Billy Sheehan, and it was quite obvious that there was some unfinished business between these two badass musicians, and the rapport and the chemistry between these two was as strong as ever. So the two decided to form a brand new band, and they got Jeff Scott Soto on board, Billy Sheehan, and Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and Sons of Apollo was officially born in 2017. So for today's edition, I'm going to be taking a look at all 3 albums, featuring 2 studio albums and 1 live recording. And I can honestly tell you now, there is no bad album in this catalogue. They're all strong, they're all fantastic, and very well produced. And I've seen Sons of Apollo live, one of the greatest shows I have ever seen. 5 musicians at the top of their game, left it all out there on the stage and put on a 3-hour clinic of sheer badassery and jaw-dropping musicianship. Unbelievable band, and wow, no weak link here whatsoever. So, as always, I'm going to be talking about each album individually, and I'll be choosing which one I think is the best one. Not an easy challenge. Any one of these albums can be a number 1 on any given day. That's how strong this trilogy of albums really are. So, we're going to start with the first album, which came out in 2017, and this is their debut recording, Psychotic Symphony. So, Psychotic Symphony is the debut album from Sons of Apollo, and these guys waste no time in getting things rolling. They come in, kick the door down, and deliver one hell of a punch. And this album has got influences of classic rock, hard rock, heavy metal, thrash metal, progressive rock, and there's even elements of fusion as well, AOR, you name it. This album has got it all and then some. All five musicians at the top of their game on top musical form, and these guys really deliver in a big way. And I got to see this band, as I mentioned earlier, during this tour. And I knew going in it was going to be a great show. But these guys just absolutely blew me away and exceeded my expectations. And I wasn't disappointed. And as soon as I heard the first track from this album, I knew we were in for something really special. So this is a double album. So disc one features the full album, and the second disc is the full album, but as an instrumental album. But wow, oh wow, do these guys really know how to rock and kick ass? And I do remember fans were making comparisons between Sons of Apollo and Dream Theater, which, is a comparison you can't really ignore because you've got two former Dream Theater members in this band. But I always looked at Sons of Apollo as very much its own beast and is a lot more muscular and beefed up than Dream Theater. Not to say that Dream Theater can't do the heavy stuff because they really can, but I like to think that Sons of Apollo, kind of did things their own way and didn't try to copy Dream Theater or any other band for that matter. Obviously, they have their influences, which you can hear in the music, but they try to take those influences and make it their own. And this band definitely had its own original voice, to say the very least. So let's have a look, shall we? So we've got the lyrics. Now, a lot of the music is written and composed by Derek Sherinian and Mike Portnoy, and the lyrics, of course, written by Jeff Scott Soto. Oh, yes, it's all good. And there's some more lyrics. And we've got more lyrics here as well. And there they are, the five heavy hitters themselves. Love it. Absolutely love it. And there he is, the man himself. My man, Derek Sherinian. For my money, the Eddie Van Halen of keyboards and my all-time favourite keyboardist in metal. Absolutely love this guy. Now this guy, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, trust me, he can pack a hell of a punch on the guitar. And he's not a bad singer either. Pretty good singer himself. Billy Sheehan, what more can you say? One of the greatest bass players in the world. Enough said. Real badass. Jeff Scott, unbelievable singer, and he is a true rocker at heart. And he knows how to pack a punch with his vocals. And there they are, the brothers themselves. A little bit of a diary there about how this project came together. There's a little bit more about how the guys got together for this album. So it's kind of like a little diary of the making of this album. Oh yes, a bit more here as well. The continuation of the making of this album. A little bit more production notes here as well. It's So it's got a little breakdown of each track individually. And there we are. And got the production notes as well. So this album was produced by Mike Portnoy and Derek Sherinian, known as the Del Fuvio Brothers, which was their old name that they had in Dream Theater. So tracks we got here is God of the Sun, which is 11 minutes and 12 seconds long. It's kind of got this Asian sitar playing at the beginning, and then Derek Sherinian just comes in and just demolishes the whole place with his keyboard playing. And it's a great opener. You know, you can definitely tell that these guys weren't here to mess around. They were ready to show you how it's done, and what an opener. Whew. Coming Home, another great song. Signs of the Time, another great song. Labyrinth is another great song, which has kind of got like little influences of UK in there as well. Love that song. Alive, another great song. Lost in Oblivion. Figueroa's Whore. Divine Addiction, and the 10-minute instrumental Opus Maximus. And then disc 2, the same tracks again, but as instrumental mixes. So the standout tracks for me is definitely God of the Sun, Coming Home, Labyrinth, and Divine Addiction, and Opus Maximus. But a very strong debut album, packed full of unbelievable songs from start to finish, and a great debut for a true progressive metal supergroup of heavyweights players. Whew! Unbelievable album. What a debut album. One of the best debut albums in recent years. And as I said at the beginning, really packs a hell of a punch, to say the very least. So there you have it. Sons of Apollo, Psychotic Symphony. Excellent debut album. And what a way to kick things off for this amazing band. Unbelievable. So we move on to the next album, which came out in 2019, and this is a live album featuring 4 discs, 3 CDs, and 1 DVD. And this one is live with the Plovdiv Psychotic Symphony. So this is a live performance that took place in Bulgaria during the band's tour of their debut album, which was a concert that took place on September 22nd, 2018, with a full orchestra. And a lot of the material that's featured on here is, of course, from the Psychotic Symphony album. There's also some cover versions of Led Zeppelin, Rainbow, and Queen material. And there's even a hilarious cover version of the iconic Pink Panther theme. So this album has got it all, and the orchestra really operates as almost like a sixth member of Sons of Apollo, and they really help to give that band that little bit extra orchestral flavour, but also doesn't take anything away from the band of 5 musicians. And to me, it's just an incredible performance. All 5 musicians at the top of their game, delivering a performance for the ages. So let's have a look. So there we are. There we go. So a cool shot of the band. There's the discs. There we go. So the whole performance itself is spread out on 3 CDs, and you can also watch the whole performance on DVD as well. So it's a really, really good show here, and pretty much the tour that I went to. And yeah, it's a fantastic show. So on disc 1, we've got God of the Sun, Signs of the Time, Divine Addiction, that's Metal Show Theme, Just Let Me Breathe. We've got a very cool, epic Billy Sheehan bass solo, Lost in Oblivion, Jeff Scott Soto spot, performing songs like the Prophet Song, Save Me. And then we've got Alive, the Pink Panther theme, Opus Maximus, and then on disc 2 we got Kashmir, Gates of Babylon, Labyrinth, Dream On, Diary of a Madman, Comfortably Numb, The Show Must Go On, Hell's Kitchen, Derek Sherinian keyboard solo, which for me is probably the highlight of the whole show. Derek Sherinian is just like a one-man orchestra slash band, and at times he sounds like Eddie Van Halen. It's really, really good. Lines in the Sand, and then on disc 3 we got Bumblefoot guitar spot, and The Cradle Will Rock, and Coming Home, and of course the DVD has got the whole concert. So it's a really, really good show, and anybody who has seen Sons of Apollo live and they're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, as I said earlier, packs a hell of a punch. So the standout tracks for me on disc 1 are Gods of the Sun, Signs of the Time, Divine Addiction, Billy Sheehan's bass solo, Lost in Oblivion, and the Pink Panther theme, Opus Maximus. And then on disc 2, the standout tracks for me are Labyrinth, Derek Sherinian's keyboard solo, Hell's Kitchen, and Lines in the Sand. And the standout tracks for me is on disc 3 are Bumblefoot's guitar solo spot and Coming Home. It's a really, really good live album. And, you know, usually when you do things like a band with an orchestra, that comes a little bit later. But these guys, as I said, they don't waste any time. They were definitely there to make a statement, and they definitely were on a mission. And I can honestly say, mission accomplished. Excellent live album, and DVD's great, CD's great. Everything about it is just fantastic, and wow, what a live performance from an incredible band. So there you have it. Sons of Apollo live with the Plovdiv Psychotic Symphony. Tremendous stuff. So we move on to the next album, which came out in 2020, and this one is called 2020. So this is a follow-up to Psychotic Symphony, and it's pretty much a continuation from that first album, but has more of a bluesy and futuristic feel to this album. And what a great follow-up to Psychotic Symphony. And once again, Sons of Apollo do what they do best. They walk in and deliver a hell of a punch. So this is just like Psychotic Symphony. This is a double disc edition. So disc 1 is the full album, and disc 2 is the same album but as an instrumental mix. So excellent stuff, and once again, all 5 musicians at the top of their game and on top musical form. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, I do love the artwork on this one. Look at that. Excellent stuff. So there's the lyrics. Very ominous artwork there. I love it. Absolutely gorgeous. It's got a very gothic look to it. And also there's more lyrics as well. So each picture is pretty much conveying the theme of the song, which I like that. You know, I like things like that. So it kind of like tells a little story here. So there's some more lyrics here. Oh yeah, I like that. That's really, really cool. And there's more lyrics as well. Climb the ladder to the top of the mountain, or something like that anyway. Really, really good. There's more lyrics as well. Nice. Love it. There's more lyrics as well. It's almost like the end of the world there, or like the apocalypse, or the coming of an apocalypse, so to speak. So excellent stuff there with more lyrics. And there he is, the man himself. Super Shredder himself on the keyboards. Brilliant. Yeah, Bumblefoot himself there. Cool picture of Jeff Scott Soto. Oh yeah, the man behind the bass himself. And there they are, the 5 heavy hitters there themselves. Look at that. What a band. What a band. Yeah, the Delfuvio brothers. Yeah, there they are. Love it. Nice. Excellent. There we are. Billy Sheehan. So this album is produced by Derek Sherinian and Mike Portnoy. All music written and composed by Derek Sherinian, Mike Portnoy, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and all lyrics are written by Jeff Scott Soto. So a real true band effort, in my opinion. So tracks we got here are Goodbye Divinity, great opener. Wither to Black, another great song. Asphyxiation, Desolate July, King of Delusion, Fall to Ascend, Resurrection Day, and New World Today. Oh, it's a great collection of songs, and this is a great follow-up to Psychotic Symphony. So the standout tracks for me are Goodbye Divinity, Wither to Black, King of Delusion, Fall to Ascend, and the epic New World Today, which clocks in at 15 minutes and 51 seconds. Now, the intro to this track is very similar to a track that comes from Planet X's Live from Oz, which features a guitar solo spot with Tony Macalpine and has Derek Sherinian providing the keyboard backdrop as Macalpine is tearing it up on the guitar. And it also sounds similar to another track called Ascension from Derek Sherinian's Molecular Hyonicity, with the keyboards and the guitars burning it up. So, the intro for this track is very similar to some of Derek Sherinian's solo and Planet X projects, but at the same time, it's very much different and pretty much takes on a life of its own. And then it goes into this very fast-paced instrumental section, which sounds very similar to UK's classic Alaska piece. It goes into but obviously a little bit more faster and a little bit more rocked up. And it's a great track to close out this amazing album of 2020. It starts off strong and it just goes out with a huge bang, I think. And for me, this is probably the best track of the entire album, in my opinion. And just like with everything that Sons of Apollo have done from the beginning, it packs a hell of a punch and it really delivers in a big way. 2020 is a very strong album, equally as good as Psychotic Symphony. And as I said, everything about this entire catalogue just packs a hell of a punch. And, the guitars are great. Ron Bumblefoot Thal's on top form. Derek Sherinian, I would probably say he has the biggest presence of this entire catalogue. His keyboards are just all over the music. And at times, he almost takes on the role of a second guitarist. He's burning it up with Bumblefoot. He's an exceptional keyboard player. Billy Sheehan, he's just popping those bass licks and he's all over the album. Jeff Scott Soto on top vocal form. He's just a real classy singer. And Mike Portnoy, he's just a powerhouse behind the drums. He just packs a hell of a punch with every note he plays. And his drumming is the driving force of this band. And as I said, everybody in this band has a role. They're all showcased to the fullest. Everyone gets their spots. Everyone gets to shine. No one steps on each other's toes. And this isn't a case of everyone takes a back seat in favour of one guy. This is a true band effort, and these guys come to play, kick ass, and deliver to the fullest. And whew, 2020 definitely proves that point. What a fantastic album, and what a great band. So there you have it, Sons of Apollo 2020. Tremendous stuff. So, which Sons of Apollo album do I think is the best one out of all three? Is it Psychotic Symphony, Live with the Plovdiv Psychotic Symphony, or 2020? They're all great albums. As I said at the beginning, any one of these albums could easily be number one. But if I had to choose, I'm definitely going with the debut album, Psychotic Symphony. I just think it's a fantastic album from start to finish. It packs a hell of a punch. It kicks ass, great songs, great playing, great musicianship, you name it. This album has it all and then some. And if this had been the only album that Sons of Apollo made, then it just would have been a masterpiece. It would have been a prog metal masterpiece. But the very fact that we've got a live album and a follow up studio album just makes this album even more special. All five musicians came together and just created metal magic. Mike Portnoy kicking ass on the drums, Derek Sherinian ripping it up in shredder mode on the keyboards, Bumblefoot just burning it up on the guitars, Billy Sheehan's just popping it on the bass, and Jeff Scott Soto just delivering hard rock vocals as only he can. But wow, fantastic band, no weak links whatsoever. Everyone a real monster in their own right, and wow, unbelievable album this is. So I'm definitely going with Psychotic Symphony as the best Sons of Apollo album out of all three. So there you have it. Sons of Apollo, Psychotic Symphony, for me, the best album in their entire catalogue. Tremendous stuff. So sadly, Sons of Apollo would be no more. They would wrap things up and go their separate ways. Mike Portnoy would rejoin Dream Theater, and as we speak, they're in the middle of recording a brand new album and set to go on tour very soon. Billy Sheehan would go back to Mr. Big. Jeff Scott is currently in Arts of Anarchy with Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and also Ron Bumblefoot Thal and Derek Sherinian as the only two remaining members of Sons of Apollo would go on to form their own band called Whom Gods Destroy, and they've just released a brand new album which absolutely kicks ass. Highly recommend you check out my review on that new album and go and listen to it. It's equally as good as Sons of Apollo. The band itself just absolutely kick ass, and definitely a successor and continuation of Sons of Apollo. It's just really, really good. But yes, just like with all supergroups, they're short lived, they don't last long, but in the time that Sons of Apollo existed, they really made a statement, and I definitely would have liked to have seen more, but what we have got is very impressive. And who knows, maybe one day in the near future, maybe these guys could get back together and do some more stuff. But you never say never, but doubtful they will. They're all very busy guys. They're all doing their own thing. But, you know, like in music, just like in life, you never say never. Anything can happen. But I'm very glad I got to see Sons of Apollo live one time. And it was a great, great show. Really good. One of the best shows I've ever been to. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite Sons of Apollo album? Is it Psychotic Symphony, Live with the Plovdiv Psychotic Symphony, or 2020? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite albums. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Progressive Rock and Metal album review series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.